6
later.
o'clock, we're going to call the meeting to order. You hear us, John? Okay. We're going to do a roll call for council members, and we'll start with John. John is via speakerphone. Roll call, John.
I'm here.
Okay. Bill, no decker.
Rob, no check.
All right. Okay, next we're going to move on to approval of the minutes for February is corrected.
And that was the addition of the information the bank wanted.
Right.
Okay, the addendum that they wanted. Okay, I move that the February minutes be approved as corrected.
A second.
Okay.
February's minutes were on something that Justin had brought up.
Oh, that was a change of date on the...
It was a change of
It
wording.
said water system instead of water tower. Yeah.
That's what February's was.
Right.
And then March's was the
Okay.
addition.
Okay, I'll amend my my motion to approve both then. As changed. Second.
approved both.
Yeah.
Okay. Both stand approved. Okay. Declaration of conflict of interest.
I had no conflict of interest.
No conflict of interest.
John?
No.
All right. Okay, next is bills to pay. We're going to approve the bills for March and April, received to date. I have a question about the builder supply. There was 4 sheets for keys. Is that duplicate?
Oh,
Was
it
that
might be.
duplicate?
I kept getting emails. So
Okay.
I kept printing them off and throwing them together.
So that's all I had questions was.
If it was $777, that was keys.
Okay.
It says
Okay.
nuts and bolts
Bolts,
on their
right.
invoice, but it's keys.
That's what I thought. I want to make sure.
I was called them and checked it out.
Okay.
Didn't want to put it separate to the invoice for fees, so they just put it in the next invoice.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second. Okay. Bills to pay approved. Okay. Old business. The first one is to repeal the city ordinance 170, which is the ordinance for changing the city council meeting from, what was it, the third Wednesday to the second Wednesday?
Well, actually, the ordinance.
The ordinance
made it the
is-
third Wednesday.
Made it the third Wednesday, so we're going to repeal that. Ordinance number 170.
Okay, I moved that we repeal ordinance 170, and better have a second on that. Second, okay.
Rob seconded.
And,
That was for, the ordinance 170 was dated on January 18th of 2017.
right, so it's from the previous administration where they established that meeting time and date. And in keeping with the requirements for ordinance, I move that we waive the reading of the ordinance that we're repealing and proceed to the vote.
Okay,
And that one's a second. Second.
alrighty. Can we get a verbal vote? Do we need a verbal vote?
We don't on that particular part,
Oh,
but we
okay.
do on the resolution now.
Oh, okay.
On the ordinance.
Ordinance. Okay, so can I get a vote on repealing the ordinance?
And that's just a voice vote, so it'll be aye for each of us. No Decker, aye.
John?
Aye.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
We heard it, thank you. Okay. And next is QuickBooks renewal due date is 5/31 of this year. We need to decide,
That,
that was the,
that we put on there, but then I called up, it self-renews yearly. And it's $9.49 a year, and then the payroll part is $6.50 a year. The yearly renewal happens September 27th for the whole thing. Except the payroll part self-renews May 22nd, and then there is for $6.50, and there is an additional $6 a month that's charged per employee.
So is there
But-
a question on the renewal as to whether we want to continue it?
We had previously discussed that, and we're looking at other options. The other options are a lot more expensive,
Okay.
and it's online.
and this is still desktop. And I called up and they upgraded us to the 2024. It took an hour and we're up and going. That's all.
So, and there was no extra.
No additional charge.
No additional
They said
charge.
we were already paying for it, they'd upgrade us,
So
so,
this is something that just happens unless we change it?
right,
Right.
Okay, so.
So, and
actually-
she just found that out.
Okay,
yeah,
Today,
yesterday.
Yesterday.
Okay.
So if
After
we ever
all
wanted
this
to
was
change it, we would have to get after it before those 2 dates, so we're not.
Right.
okay.
Like the month, right?
If we want, yeah, if we wanted to go online.
Okay, so it doesn't really require any.
No, Thursday.
No,
Okay. You with us, John? Okay.
I'm here.
All righty. New business, we went with the road and bridge, this is just for information, the road and bridge, the commissioners, last month, me and the attorney, the one that we did the MOU. I had a call in to Roy today, come to find out, the reason why I'm not returning my calls, he's no longer with them. So, I will have to get a hold of the new guy, Monty, and discuss when we can get together and work out the MOU. Roy was wanting it done like immediately, but I don't know now what Monty's gonna wanna do, so, just as a heads up, they're, wanting a lot of money to maintain 1.2 miles or something like that of city roads on Angel Ridge, Old Melrose, and New Melrose. So when I hear more from that, I'll bring it to the next meeting. But yeah, that's new business number, fire fuel reduction. We ended up not having to pay anything for the fuel reduction, fire fuel reduction up at the cemetery. Doug Nelson is taking care of that for free. So that will be all cleared up should be by the end of this month. Okay. We need to set a date for the budget hearing, which is in late August, or late July, or early August. So,
Can that be done at the regular council meeting, or does it need to be a separate meeting?
it's just to set the date,
Yeah.
I need to let,
Can the budget hearing be done at the regular council meeting, or is it too extensive for that?
that one I don't know the answer to
It's-
yet.
probably gonna be,
A separate meeting?
yeah,
Okay.
for the first time anyway.
Okay, yeah, okay.
But we need to set a date, now, so that we can,
We have to let Ms. Personi
Yeah.
know.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah, it has to go to the county,
Okay.
and then,
So do they have a preference on when they want it, or it's all, it's up to us?
Late
up to us,
July,
and that's
early
all?
August would,
Okay,
is when we typically do it, and they do theirs in September, so they need to have our information beforehand.
so do we want to, so we're on the second Wednesday in July for our council meeting.
yeah, so that would be,
So we want to take another Wednesday there
July.
later in July, or?
that would be July 10th.
So 17 or 24 in July, or is it those, Rob, are you,
Yeah, I don't have
you don't have anything?
Are you good? John, are you good with, another meeting in July on the 17th or the 18th for the budget?
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere, I'm not going anywhere in the month of July or August.
Okay,
So I'll be in Peck.
okay. That's good. So we can just say the 17th for the budget hearing meeting?
Of July.
17th of July, John.
That's fine.
So do I need to, you guys need to make a motion?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I will if you want, you're more comfortable.
No, do we need a time? 6 o'clock, okay with you, John?
Yes.
I'll make a motion if you're more comfortable with that. I move that we have the budget hearing on 17th of July at 6 p.m. in this room.
Second. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Alright.
All opposed? Okay, budget meeting in July, on July 17th at 6 here at the community building. All right.
We talked about it before the meeting, but last month we changed
Oh,
the
that was
citizen comments to after the briefing.
I forgot.
Do you like that better, or?
Yeah, I do.
So
We forgot to,
Sorry, I'll make sure, but it doesn't have to again.
okay,
in fact, we probably want to move it to after.
after the other, yeah. Did that,
Give us of what we're supposed to talk about.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
employee briefing, we ready?
Yes, sir.
City clerk treasurer update, Cindy?
Okay, so, one thing is I wanted to use the credit that we have with Staples. I'm out of printer ink, the colored printer ink. Definitely need that. You should have on your sheets the cost and what the credit is that we have. Also, there is the Idaho Association of Cities has a spring workshop. I need the deadline to register is tomorrow. The cost is $50. However, I think it will be pretty beneficial. I spoke with Orofino today, and they gain a lot of knowledge by going to these. So, being as I didn't have the opportunity to be trained by a prior employee in my position, I would like to go and be able to learn. But I need approval for that.
So, what I'm seeing, is that this thing here?
That is the one in Moscow, yes, on the 17th. It happens
Oh,
on the
there, okay.
17th, but the deadline to register and pay is tomorrow.
Okay. So, boy, that's a short notice thing, isn't it?
Only got it after the last
Next
council
week.
meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Next week. I move that we support that.
Second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and then there is, it's ICCTFOA, which stands for Idaho City Clerk Treasurer Financial Officer Association. And they also put on workshops, and from my understanding from other city clerks, it would be something that would be beneficial for Carol and I to go to. It's $45 for a yearly membership.
Is that per person or for the city?
I believe it didn't tell me that it was per person
Okay.
when it was on the website. So I'm assuming that it's for both, for the city.
For the city, yes.
If not, I will get back to you, even before the next council meeting, but
Is that like an online resource or?
they put on workshops
all
to
over
go
the area?
to.
Yeah.
Yeah. For training purposes.
Right.
Is it probably similar to a water bicycle?
Right.
And they put on 3-day workshops. That happens down in Boise, and no, I don't think so. I think we're confusing that with something different. And they have scholarships that you can put in for to help cover the costs. There's one that's happening, when does that finish?
June 19th through the 21st.
I was told by one city clerk that that one would be beneficial for council members and or the mayor to attend. And there's one in September, and they said that's more geared towards new city clerks. So,
The one in June, on June 19th to the 21st is in Boise.
the other one in September is also.
And so these are in Boise. So, gives us a little bit.
But we need to be a member to be able to even put in for the
Even apply
scholarship
for it.
or possibly go to them.
We need to figure out if that's by person or by city first before we.
Like I said, I went to sign up yesterday to see if it was going to tell me when I added an additional person.
Oh,
I added
didn't.
Cheryl, and it didn't tell me the price changed at all. It just said $45.
So we think it's for the city. Will you confirm that?
Yes? So is it approved if it's for the city total?
I make a motion that we approve to pay for the extremely long acronym that you use for the City Clerk Treasurer Financial Officer Association. And hopefully it is for the whole city.
Yeah.
So,
All in favor?
aye.
John?
John, are you in
I
favor?
don't really have an opinion.
Okay, so
Depends.
we'll take that as it passed, okay.
Alright.
Okay. Okay, next one?
We bought an embossing label maker and tape for $20, and with shipping and tax, I think it came to $27.40. It broke within minutes of being used. So we were returning that. They'll be picking that up Friday. And I personally think the ones that they had in the 80s, those ones don't ever seem to break.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, no,
yes. And we bought one like that,
But it was plastic.
but, well, they're all plastic. But it's cheaper plastic, and something broke within just minutes of the guys using it, so.
Yeah, we were using it, we got about 20 meters.
Meters.
Yep, and we got about 20 meters into it, and then something in there loosened up to where it wouldn't emboss right, it wouldn't cut right.
Gotcha.
It was
Are
toast.
they picking it up and replacing it?
I just returned it.
Oh.
I did not ask for a replacement because I'm sure it's probably
The
made
same
in China
Yeah,
and
I'm
it's
sure.
probably just not good quality.
Can't you do the same thing and
Can
then?
we do paint?
Yeah, we got them paint penned.
Yeah.
Those are all set, but it'd be nice to still have the label on there too.
I have a bunch of brass disc labels, set of punches, number
Oh, now,
punches.
see, now we're talking.
Oh, yeah.
Those would be
Oh, yeah,
nice.
That I
yeah.
probably will not use up in my lifetime.
Okay.
Well, the punches, I want back. But
Okay.
I'll get those to you. If you want to use those, they're just little
Yeah.
round things and you put them on with like a hog ring.
Yeah.
Not a hog ring, but
That sound good, Jim?
That's a,
We can try it,
Okay.
okay.
see how it's
I
gonna
li-
work.
I'll get those
I like
to you.
that.
Definitely give it a go.
Yeah.
I think that's all I have.
Alrighty. On to maintenance. Jim?
Last month, Eagle Eye and Amber found a leak that was down by the main, or down by the intake. So we addressed that with the help of Pete and his equipment. Got the leak cut out, new piece put in it with some new, what do they call them, collars,
The Romax couplers.
couplers, and went onto that in a hurry. And I've been down to check it a few times, and I'm sure you have too, too, and there's no more water seeping up out of the ground, so that was good, and I know we appreciate Pete's help with that.
Yeah, Pete did an awesome job on helping
Yeah.
train and everything. It was a really good job, very clean, very nice job.
Yeah.
Very good.
I know it seems like it's kind of slow going, but I am still slinging gravel in the potholes in the streets. I didn't just negate one side or the other. I just inadvertently chose one side of the river to start with, so I'm going road for road, filling potholes. I guess
Still dodging
as
those.
far as that goes, it's going to be a little bit of a slow process, but it will get done. It's been a couple of weeks whenever I went to Schwab, and they had the winter tires taken off the city truck and had the summer tires put on. Brian, one of the service guys there, he was looking underneath there as he was changing the tires on the front. And on the front end of that city truck, there's not much that's left underneath there that's not worn out.
Oh,
The tie rod ends, the ball joints, the drag links, everything's worn out. I would like to get that fixed. There's a quote here from Schwab that you folks have. That to me seems to be more important than the batteries. I've also got a quote for batteries in that truck, in the city truck, that should be replaced, but there's still a couple of quotes that I would like to get, if we just keep the batteries on the table and maybe have a vote for getting the front end of that city truck fixed. You know, not only is it wearing out quickly, I'd hate for something to break on it coming down on Melrose or anywhere in town, anywhere around the school or anything, and have anything happen.
That's $755, right?
Yes. By the way the quote looks, that's also labor, not just parts, but also labor. I don't know what sort of a time frame they would be looking at, you know, once I go in and say, yeah, let's get this done. But I don't think it would take them too long to do.
I move that front end work on the truck be done.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright.
On the batteries, do we really have a reason to delay that extent?
Well, since it's gotten warmer, the truck has started up first try.
Okay.
I'm thinking maybe because it sat for just a little while and drained the batteries a little bit, I was having to put the battery charger on it and jump start it twice a day whenever I first started using it. But since the weather's gotten warmer, it seems to it's starting fine. But I only got one quote for replacement batteries, and I know we can put that on the back burner if they continue to go bad to where I've got
Is there a note here on how old those batteries are?
I checked the tags on it where they take a knife or a punch or something, and pull out dates on the batteries. Those batteries are 14 years old.
Yeah, that's what I thought I saw.
You said 14?
I'm 14 years old.
Jeez.
I moved to replace the
You want to
batteries.
get them? We'll get them. Other than that, that's all.
Yeah, I second replacement battery.
All in favor?
John?
Might try Walmart or something.
Yeah.
North 40 is a good one
And
as well. North 40.
We have precision tires too. Their batteries are a little bit.
Yeah, I thought I saw a date like that or a battery.
I looked at that and I was like, nah, I gotta be looking at the wrong number.
Yeah.
No, that's what it
Started
is.
it all, because when I went down to plow, it started right up, and then I think I was showing you how to do something, and
No.
maybe before that, I pulled it out and shut the key off. And then it didn't come back on.
But
No. It's not in the back of that.
Okay, is that it, Jim?
that's all I got.
Okay. Water Department. Amber and Justin.
Okay, I got the prices on the pipe, to replace the pipe and the max couplers. And it's broke down for me from Ferguson, $1,845.
Is that the one you did down there at the
Yeah, that's to replace.
Yeah, we had to-
And Cheryl wanted
I made
more
a suggestion that
of the Romex couplers.
if we can afford it, we buy 2 sets, so in case we have another situation and we don't have any backup right now. So if something happens, we have nothing to,
There was not a third one in there, right?
no,
Nothing.
nothing.
Nope.
So I would like to suggest that we buy 2 sets. That way, if we have to use one, we always still have a backup there in stock, so we can,
Did we ever ask him what the difference, well, and we can probably talk about this later. One of them was 5 foot-pounds of torque, and the other one was 30.
Oh,
This
no,
one
yeah,
had
the torque.
2 different part numbers, and because they both seem to work, so I'm wondering what the difference was.
I know, I didn't, you want me to call and ask them?
Yes. Again, I got pictures, so I don't have it on here. The ones that we used, one needed 30 foot-pounds, and the other one needed 20, and I'm wondering if there's a difference. If they could look back at what we purchased before. Find out
Yeah, well, that's what
number
they
was.
did, but they didn't say anything about that.
Yeah. I just want to know which one, because if they both fit the bill and one's cheaper, and I'm just curious in general,
Okay.
about the difference, just to make sure.
Sure.
And then we had to use 2 because the type of pipes didn't line up with the beveled edge on another pipe, so otherwise we would not have used 2.
so is the pipe was a different size than
Yeah,
the
the
pipe
new,
that's
the
in
new
the...
pipe is a different size,
Thicker.
slightly diameter-wise than the old one was. Otherwise, we could have just used the bell end connector on one end of the pipe and only used one of those things.
But we have to use 2.
But I'm assuming that that's going to be the case with a lot of water breaks.
Probably.
And you've seen quite a few.
There will be, yeah. Anything that's old is always going to be
Smaller
smaller.
than...
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're wanting to buy some spares then?
So he wants me to call on them first.
I'm curious about, I just want to know if this is, if we can, what the difference is, because we put in 2 different ones. They look similar, but the torque was different, so I'm curious about that.
The prices are going to be different?
Well, that's what I want to know.
We don't know if the price is different,
Yeah,
so...
we definitely
So we're
need
gonna-
to purchase 2, but I was
Okay.
just curious about the 2 that we need to purchase.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll just defer on that for right now? Yeah,
If that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, just as an anecdotal story, I've been here 2 weeks, and those 2 weeks, the entire peninsula of probably 250,000 people has been down for 3 days without water 2 different times for lack of parts.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we can get parts from over here and make them a great deal.
Plus shipping and handling.
Yeah, plus shipping and handling now. You're gonna fly them over personally, huh?
So,
And then I just wanted to let you know that the previous administration had ordered some meters and they were back ordered. And
Right.
those are coming in.
Oh,
And
good.
so you have the price on those. There's this other paper.
have those already been paid for?
No.
Or, no?
No,
they have
just
not.
ordered, they were back ordered.
They were back ordered.
Yeah.
And
And then I
that,
need some lab supplies for my DBT dispensers for storing residuals. And then the locator was approved last time,
Oh,
but
right.
I didn't want to buy it because I wanted to put the order all together
Right.
for shipping. and
Same
handling.
place?
Yes, yes, US Food Buck.
I would make a motion to approve the purchase of the lab supplies and the locator that we previously discussed from US Food Buck.
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
And the GMU valve is finally supposed to be in Boise today, and then they will ship it to us.
We already paid for that.
No,
No?
What is that?
the GMU valve
Oh,
that we've been calling on.
Doesn't one of the German?
And this is to replace something at the water.
Well, it's to replace one, to have one on the shelf because it's taken 6-7 months to get one. Yeah,
So this is a spare.
this is just
is that the, how much was that one?
$575. Yeah, I had the totals last month, but I didn't put anything in. It was $575.
How many liters did you get?
Does it say?
Let's see it.
I don't see where it says how many. Is it on there?
Quantity 3, quantity 2.
Oh, there it is. And you said those will be when?
They haven't, they should have been here Tuesday. Did they come in? Did you get a shipment from Ferguson? I'll call and check on it because they told me they were here. I'll call and check on it.
So will they have an invoice with them?
Pardon me?
When they come in, when the parts come in, is the invoice with them, or do they send you an invoice?
Well, they'll send us a bill, but there
bill.
should be a purchase thing or
Purchase,
whatever.
right.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Interesting.
And then I've been taking care of the generators. I know you guys went up to it. The paper I had for this got lost somewhere, so I've redid it. If you guys wanted to look at these guys, I keep
Well,
one of.
explain it a little bit. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I keep one of these in each generator up there. Anytime I do something, date put on here, like the test, I did the test run, what the oil pressure and everything are. If there's anything, the first time I did it, I had to replace a bunch of coolant in the intake one. So just kind of trying to log everything on here. I didn't find anything on the generators before. And then I created a yearly one that will be at the plant if we ever need it. Just kind of goes through everything you need to check, any notes over here for things that happened, and dates of completion for oil filter, running it with the load you're supposed to do once a year, and then changing out spark plugs and all of that. So if you guys want to take a look at it.
How often does those need to be, maintenance needs to be done on those?
They're supposed to be run once a month, and then depends on how much you want to do it. I was looking, some places said do it every 6 months. Make sure you get a really good maintenance on there. You check every cord and everything. Other places say quarterly. So kind of just depends on what we want to do. I mean, they're in good shape.
Okay.
I didn't see anything wrong with them.
How are we back up for fuel on those?
They're both good. The one up top has, I think it's written on there, just above 3/4, and then the one down here is just under 3/4.
So in terms of running time, if we had power outage, what can we do?
I'm not 100% sure how many hours. I can try seeing if I can find manuals and see how long.
Let's try to find out where we
Okay.
are on that.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Do we have manuals for them?
I gotta look.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That's probably where the maintenance.
If we
Yeah.
don't have manuals, let's order some.
Okay.
At least the
Or see if
operator
we can
manual.
print them off.
Will do.
Order manuals for,
The generators.
Yeah, might be able to find.
Are they the same generator or different?
They're different. The one up there is a stationary cat, and the one down here is a mobile, I don't remember the brand.
Okay, whatever. Just-
But yeah, they are different.
So the operator's manual, we don't need the service manual, I don't think, but the operator manual we should have.
Yeah.
Nancy, would you by any chance know where those manuals are? Do they come with manuals or?
As far as I know, they came with manuals, and they're either at City Hall or at the plant.
Yeah,
Not
we haven't
the
gone through everything
Yeah.
yet, so
Yeah.
we might find them, so.
Not gotten
Okay.
anywhere near.
I'll look in the files and I got.
Yeah, be in your files, they're not at the plant.
I mean, I wouldn't be, I would be amazed if you couldn't go look them up and.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can find a PDF for them.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then just doing meters, we took a paint pen when we went with us. We had the label maker until it died. We were putting the label for the meter number itself on the glass. And then if you take the lid off, there should be the meter number written somewhere in there, except for on any of them that have the concrete peephole. I wrote it on the bottom of that lid because you can't take that whole thing off. But it should be a lot easier to do that now.
I'll try to get those, where are you guys gonna be tomorrow? Are you here tomorrow?
I'm not here.
I'm not going to be here tomorrow.
Okay, I'll bring the city hall then,
Okay.
the number punches and the tags.
Oh, that'd be great.
Anything else?
I was going to see if, I don't know if you guys need approval, if I can get a key to the shop
Oh, that's right. He needs a key to the shop and the
and the supply room.
Oh, I'm sure we can get
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
I think we can all go pay for it, you know.
Okay.
There's extras in there.
Oh, good.
Yeah, well, I need extras. They're in there. We just need approval to give them to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Thank you.
And I think that's everything.
Go to, yeah,
The sheriff.
go to the, right, to the other
Okay.
presenters.
Tonight we've got with us Nestor County Sheriff. How to say your last name?
Bryce Spencer,
Spencer? And
Chief Deputy Mike Rickey.
we had you come to here tonight so that some of our citizens could ask questions. Some people had some concerns about lack of patrol in town. So I'm glad you were able to make it tonight. And anybody have any questions for the sheriff?
We have, so I'll just say a little bit and then you ask questions as we
Okay.
go too. We have been trying to be up here more. There's a lot of times we were up here and no one knew we were up here. That was for some other reasons that we were doing and working on. And it wasn't just us, but we also had task force and stuff too. We weren't in march units all the time when we were here. So we are trying to work the area and do what safety, obviously driving through, we don't always know who everybody is and everything, but call our office and let us know if there's something particular that you're having problems with. That way we can address those things. We did just get a drug dog as of last Friday, back up and working, got his certifications and everything. We've had a drug dog for about a year, and so we're really excited to have the drug dog going. It helps a lot with the enforcement of drugs. And, as you know, the fentanyl and everything else that's coming up and down the roads, and it's in every town. It's not a town that isn't, unfortunately, it doesn't have drug problem, or drugs within it. And so we are trying to address all those as we can. But if you have tips or have anything, let us know. And just call our dispatch line, and they'll give it to myself or one of the deputies.
You're talking the 799-3131 number?
Yeah, that would be the dispatch number. Yeah, that would be the best way. Just have me to speak to someone, reference a drug problem or something, that'll be to a deputy, and so they can call and talk to you and coordinate, working with, traffic stops or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of different ways, we can kind of work those things and work with other agencies that we work really well with. We have some resources for that. And so, I don't know, whatever you have questions, I guess.
So how often do you come out and basically look for speeders? And
I'd have to go through the log. We don't have set routines. It just depends where the calls are coming that day and stuff too, and how many people we have on. Sometimes we have 2 people on, sometimes we have 4 people on a shift. And we've made some changes to our shifts. We've gone to 12-hour shifts, so we can try to have more people on at a time, which gives us more coverage from here to Waha.
About you.
So, I don't, the exact number, I don't have a number for you, but I do know one of our deputies has been coming up and working, the highway and stuff. I don't know how much right in town they're getting, and so we'll talk to them and see more presence in town as well.
Well, so I was wondering, I don't live in the city limits. I'm on Bobbitt, which seems to be a lot of a raceway a lot of times.
Okay.
And sometimes even late in the evening, seems like people must, I'm assuming they must figure, oh, if I go the back way, then to get to the liquor store or Dino's for beer, I'm less likely to get caught than if I go out on the highway.
Okay.
So just, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Are all of your deputies that patrol up here aware of the availability of the firehouse down there for a rest area?
Well, I have before when I was up meeting before, and they gave us the code or the pass.
Yeah, they're welcome to use that anytime for whatever good purpose they can make of it, so.
Okay, thank you very much.
Did I step on you, chief?
No, I can just reiterate. We went from a pole building to a real building with bathrooms and
Yeah.
Peters.
Yeah.
to dovetail with what Milt is saying though, we've provided you guys with the code to get in so they don't have to have a key, and they're more than welcome to go in, plop down, kick on the internet, file whatever they need to do, or I realize we're a long ways from anywhere, and having a couple bathrooms is a pretty cool thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, your code works the office as well, so feel free to use the office.
And we've given out different codes to different people that get them into different areas, so
Okay.
you guys have full run of everything.
Well, thank you very
And,
much.
yeah, the only time you may discover other people in there is we've established the old apartment that was upstairs when the people that owned it before us, and we're getting that all put together, so if we have a family burnout or something like that, instead of going a million miles to find someplace for them, we can just put them up there. So that would probably be the only time that there would be more than just your guys there, but they're always welcome to it. So I can't stress it enough. It's my son is the deputy sheriff, and nights get long.
Yeah, thank you.
You need to stand up and stretch and get something warm. It's all yours.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Okay, so I have another question. So, do you have anything, what would happen if we got some of the buses with the immigrants dropped off around this area?
Probably gets next to full. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot we can really do. And everybody thinks we can just go gather them all back up, put them on the bus. And it'd be nice to be able to just do that. I know you hear about it in some places and how they do that. But it's hard to just send them back. I mean, unfortunately. I think they're illegal and they need to go back. But I've worked drugs and narcotics for about 15, 16 years for the state, and once in a while we would be able to get them deported if it's a serious enough offense. But like your infractions and stuff, they probably won't.
But you are allowed to shoot trespassers on your property.
Oh yeah, we're enforced just like we do anybody else, yeah. But we can't just take them out and send them back like, you know.
And so what about squatters? I mean, there are some places in the city limits, but there may be some in the surrounding area.
Yeah, if it's in the surrounding area, give us a call. We try to prevent that because they leave a mess. It's a total mess when they come and go.
Well, and I don't mean that it's necessarily illegals that would be squatting, but, you know, anybody that's squatting.
And so that's what I'm saying. We try to keep them moved because they leave a mess behind. But if they're in the city, I don't know what your city ordinances are. We don't enforce city ordinance, but so I don't know what your codes are on that. We talked about that a little bit. Something to look into and then see if you're legal. Maybe see what other cities are doing and that's a little bit.
Just curious, because those are topics in the country at large, so.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Have you been having problems with squatters here? Okay, so I haven't heard of any. But they move around.
Right.
Yeah, when they start getting pressure somewhere, they'll move somewhere. Yes, sir.
So right next door to me, just today, there's 2 traders moved into that house right down the road here from me, right next door. My wife went up and said, questioned them, what's going on? They said, well, we're just moving in here. We're just going to live here and clean this place up. And it looked kind of questionable. I didn't talk to them myself.
Who is on private property or?
Well, the house next to me, I don't.
So yeah, so I know. So if the landowner calls us, you know, we can come out and
Nobody's living there.
and so we have to look at the landowner, let us know.
Oh, it's absolutely.
You know, the landowner is
I just worked for like 5
because, I mean, they do have their, like, motor trailers or whatever, move around from spot to spot, so that can't happen, but if they're legitimately there. But if you find out more information or something that they're not supposed to be, to let you talk to the landowner, they're not supposed to be, let us know.
Okay.
And then the landowner give us a call and.
Who usually goes in and cleans up the mess after them?
What's that?
Who usually goes in and cleans up the mess after them? Because I know there's that one spot down along the river down here that you're headed in just before the.
No, so when you get on the river, you can either be state fishing or I'm not sure. Go climbing along the rivers and try to get into those spots, especially as the trees start pushing out, get more cover. It's harder to see anything at night.
Drop the call.
At least you're trying to keep them moving, just leave a mess.
I have a question. There was a bag of marijuana found in town the other day, and it was turned into City Hall, and we called you guys, and you guys came out and got it. My concern is if we find stuff like that and we pick it up, if it's possibly fentanyl or laced with fentanyl and stuff, I know where I worked at, you really need to be gloved up before you try to pick anything up. It's that.
I recommend that on anything.
Yeah.
You don't know what house.
But it was right by the school, so that's best to just get it out of there quick.
Well, yeah, but like maybe use a garbage bag or try to find something in your vehicle. Yeah,
Hey, you
it
back?
can be on anything, so.
John, you there?
Speaking of fentanyl, is it getting better or worse? Is it still the same form that you guys have seen coming through before? I've seen a bunch of write-up worse.
The forms, I mean, the way it's coming is different, they're always changing the color.
There's like the little blue pills that look like, I think I read about it in the newspaper, look like some other normal kind of painkiller, but it wasn't
Yeah.
ideal, I don't
Or
know.
look like candy or like Skittles or what they call it.
Is there anything new that it's coming across as now, or they just,
I don't know, right off is new, but it's just always changing.
Hey, John, you there?
Trying to find a way to get it through and get it.
Okay,
yeah, and I think that's a legal question.
I'm gonna put you up right here. You can still hear.
If the county had any kind of discussions of like a, kind of like an emergency management type plan, you know what I mean? Right here. People, I guess, got dropped off, like, not necessarily what just the, sheriff's department would do, and this might be a better question for somebody else from, Nez Perce County, but like I was reading through their emergency management plan, I didn't know. I'm sure a lot of small towns would probably have discussions like that now, where, well, I mean, what are you gonna do with all the people,
And that's the problem.
hiding somewhere, then it's all, that'd be bad. But, yeah.
Hopefully there'll be some changes coming.
I have a clarifying question. Piggybacking on Cindy's, what is the speed limit for the unmarked gravel roads around here?
Well,
Yeah.
we were talking about that a while back. Some go to 35, 45. And it depends on if there's been studies done, if there's a study on the road or if it's just open county road. I think county road goes, if I remember right, is it 45? I think it's 45.
I don't think you're gonna do that on our roads.
Or the road is not marked, or the signs are just gonna take it.
Not marked, and I had an officer that was going by at a pretty good clip, and so I asked him, he said it's unmarked, and I couldn't, he said 45 or 55, because it's unmarked, because he was going faster than anybody else on the road.
Yeah, we should be doing that, it's not safe, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't just want it the whole way.
Right, exactly. But if it is 45 or 55, there's really nothing you can do about it then, right? If we feel like they're speeding excessively for the road.
Right, well, right, yeah, the only thing we do is, do like a road study. Well, I don't do it.
Who do you contact for
County
that?
roads does a road study. And
Road.
Roy Hill would be the contact for that.
Roy doesn't work there
Yeah,
Roy Hill,
Yeah, no, Roy's gone.
oh,
yeah.
I didn't know. Okay.
It's Monty Wilson now.
Monty's on,
He came out today.
Who is it?
Monty Wilson.
Okay, okay, so
At
contact
least
Monty.
until they hire somebody else, he said.
Oh, okay, okay. Contact Monty, obviously it sounds like he's gonna be really busy. But now we have done it in other areas, so they'll do a study on it, and, whether it's by, say, kind of a commercial, used to be rural, but again, a lot of houses and driveways, and a lot of people come in. We had one area that was slowed down a little bit, just because of the entrances in and out, and it just wasn't safe for what it used to be. Times are changing, and people are moving out more, so, but that would be good.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's, sir.
I have a question for Cheryl. Where'd they find the weed?
Up by the school, elementary school,
By the school.
yes.
The deputy that picked it up said that it was possibly had fallen out of someone's vehicle that had parked over that way.
Yeah, they might have checked at the school cameras though, because I think the school cameras might have had something on it.
Put an ad on Craigslist saying, did you lost your weed?
It's a 50-50 shot of that working.
Might be surprised, you might get a call.
Yeah, you might. I've known dumber things happen.
Thank you.
Is your department, are you guys considered undermanned, just out of curiosity?
Under what,
Undermanned.
Understaffed?
Yeah, understaffed.
No, actually right now, we are, well, we're one down, but we're going through a promotion time right now. On patrol, on detention side, I think we're 2 down, dispatch 2 or 3 down. So it's kind of a common theme everywhere.
No, I was just curious.
Yeah, but I'm really thankful for everybody we have and what we do have, and so we're trying to keep up, provide the best services we can. That's what we do, we work for you guys, so.
Anybody else?
I would like you to call me. I'm running for county commissioner, so I have a card right there behind me.
Oh, okay.
There. So when you get time, just
Okay,
give me a phone call so we can chat.
okay, sounds good.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And for your service.
Yes, and for your service.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to see a lot of people here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It
nice.
is nice.
You guys-
Have a good night, drive safe.
Good night.
Alrighty.
Is that a rooster?
Yeah.
Yeah,
time to get up in
it's
Turkey.
morning time in Turkey, so
That's
if you're
what
hearing the
cockadoodle doos
rooster,
have, work on
that's
turkey.
coming from John over in Turkey.
Turkish rooster.
Okay, so,
Wait till the mom goes off, that really wakes them up.
oh, yeah, they'll have prayer here shortly. Okay, so next is, Nez Perce County running mate, Robin Ackerman.
Yes.
The floor is yours.
The floor is mine. I'm losing my voice. So I'm running for District 3, Nez Perce County Commissioner. I have some cards and information up here. I do have a website. I've met quite a few of you now. I would like, if you have any questions, contact me. I don't want to take up the meeting and make everybody stay up all night, but I would love to hear from you. Questions and concerns with the county. Thank you.
Alrighty. Let's see, many here. Elaine
Oh, okay.
or Tim and
Okay.
Alex, and they're not here, so. Okay, and then we have Randy Moss, and Pete Smith, our fire chief and assistant fire chief. If you guys would like to give us some updates on your...
Pete said that I could talk.
Okay. Pete. 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Not in his vocabulary. In a nutshell,
It's only here for
to
an
catch
hour.
some of you up to speed that haven't been around for a while, the old red building by the uncovered bridge was our old firehouse. And we could put 2 kind of large trucks in there and 1 small truck in there. There's no bathrooms, there's no water, very little heat. It was a difficult place to operate from. Since then, we've been blessed with the ability to move down to the old Obanoff grease boat building, and that's been a blessing like you guys wouldn't believe. We've been able to have training and people don't leave when the coffee hits them. As a chief, that's really a good thing. No, it's been a real blessing. And first and foremost, I would welcome anyone who wants to come down and walk through there, look at it, make criticisms or hurrahs. It's great. That is our station, all of us. And even though we've moved technically out of the city limits, it's so much for the better. We now can park all of our trucks inside, what we call wet. They're ready to go. We used to have to run them outside, fill them up with water, and hope they didn't freeze while we were filling them up. It's really hard to make ice cubes put anything out when it comes to... And in fire circles, we take the size of a person's house, and we use 2 gallons for every square foot. I don't know what the ratio is for ice cubes, but it takes a lot. Anyway, so it's really great. And there's been several other things that have happened since we've been down there. The ladies club has rejuvenated themselves and they're hanging out down there, and that's really a good thing. And your group has been down there and other people have come in, and I'm tickled pink. In the 24 years that I've been the fire chief here, this is the most positive I've felt about it, because even though over the years we've had some younger fellas come in and be there until they get married or go off to school or whatever, and now even us older people can survive for a while down there in a really warm building with bathrooms and a place to get a snack or a glass of water or whatever. So it's really great, and that in a nutshell is where we're at right now. Today was the second round with the Army Corps of Engineers for me. We're in the process of getting all of the things in line so that we can take our water out of the creek instead of out of the hydrants. With what you guys are fighting with on hydrant stuff, you don't need us on top of it, especially when we're 4,000 gallon and a 6,000 gallon, 10,000 gallons out of your system probably isn't a good thing right now. So Friday, the Army Corps of Engineers will be back down here again. The first hurdle we had to jump through, we applied for water rights, and 15 minutes before the window closed, the tribe filed on it and said, no, we don't want it to happen. 3 hearings later, we won. Anyway, they had them down at Lenore, building there, and the state water board came up, and we finally had to remind the tribe that all water in the state of Idaho is available for fire suppression. That's the law. So you can't say you don't want us to have it and have that be the reason. And so the state water board finally agreed with us. They blessed it, and so we now have water rights to the river, the same river that we were getting water from via you guys earlier. And, anyway, it's kind of like we were paddling in circles for a while. So the next step is I got with Roy, and he said no, he didn't want to see a ditch go across under the road. So I got with Roy's bosses and said this isn't going to fly. We need to have a ditch under the road. And to make sure that everything would flow smoothly, I've been working with the Army Corps of Engineers, because whether you realize it or not, right next to the road, there's kind of an extended gravel area. Well, that's actually belongs to the Army Corps. That's part of their dike and levee system. If somebody didn't tell me that, I wouldn't have known it, because it's level with the road and it just goes out a little further. But it's sacred, and we can't just dig through it. So, anyway, so we're getting that blessing, and we're going to go back to the commissioners, Doug and everybody else, and they've said that they will approve digging under the dike and under the road so that we can pull up at the station and fill up with water out of the creek and not have to park trucks in the road and deal with ice and snow and all the other not so fun things. So it's in progress, but we're getting nested in there in that we're getting safer and everything. So that's another highlight in what's happening down there. We're actually getting ready to add 3-phase power to the building as well. We were fortunate enough to go to the cache up in Coeur d'Alene, and that's kind of where all the fire-related stuff goes and gets re-divvied out again, if you will. All the other fire stations around here don't have 3-phase power. We're really lucky. On the corner of our building there's a big pole with the power that's coming right on up here to town, and it has 3-phase on it. So we're tying into that, and so we got mills and lathes, or mills and saws and welders and all kinds of stuff that nobody else wanted because they couldn't feed them with 3-phase power. We brought home 2 trailers tonight. You brought your stuff in. Anyway, so we're rapidly getting a lot of resources in there, and we've been fixing up a lot of trucks. And they're all inside and they're all full of water, and that makes me sleep a lot better at times.
So Randy, tell them that facility could be used for a command center. When something happens.
Yeah, so some of you know that Pete spearheaded putting the helipad out and back. So, and we've already had several helicopters in on it, both for training and for unfortunate accidents that didn't have good endings. But the helicopter got there and the ambulance got there, and it was kind of too late. But know that it's there, and it's making our community have one more resource when it comes to getting people out and things like that. I mentioned briefly that the people that bought the Blue Grease building from Mr. Obanoff lived here because they're actually from Whitebird, and they have a new building that puts this one to shame. up in Grangeville. So they sold us this one at a very reduced price, and they were, kudos to them, they were interested in, as they left, leaving good behind, and that was really a blessing for everybody in the community. So we're taking their old apartment that they lived in upstairs and turning that into a place where if somebody gets burned out, instead of trying to run them to Lewiston or whatever, we can put them upstairs and get them through the night, or get them through a couple nights until they get their feet back under them, and we can be a part of it. It just seemed like something good that the community should do, and kudos to all the ladies. Mostly, a couple of us packed that crib and stuff upstairs, but the ladies have jumped on it. It's really neat to see them. Pete published a big list of things we needed, and there's been all kinds of stuff show up since then, and everything from cribs to popcorn poppers. Anyway, so it's really a good thing, and I think too, for me personally, I feel kind of energized when other people are enjoying using the building as well. It's not just a place where everybody comes tearing in when there's a fire and tearing out, and it's really being used for stuff. Milt is our station coordinator, commander, in charge manager. And on top of that, Milt's also been teaching classes down there. We've had, I don't know how many people have gotten their license in your ham classes down there.
We must have had 30 or so through there.
Yeah, anyway, and anybody else who wants to get a license, that's your guy right there. When it comes to search and rescue and just straight out communications, we've got repeaters all around. It's a good thing. I even got my license.
Can I jump in on you here, Chief?
Sure.
A couple of things. If you want to tour the building, we're feeding chili down there this Saturday.
Oh, yeah, we are.
12 to 3, come on down.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have people from the fire department on hand also. We also have an amateur radio club in the building.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in amateur radio, and it's a birthing amateur radio club. It's still got a lot of growing to do, but it's there, and it's going to be available for people to use.
The bottom line is there's a lot of traction down there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things happening, and the very back end of the building, the river side of the building, we refer to as sick bay, and that's where we bring in trucks, we fix them up, we get them together, then we move them out to the other end and fill them up with water. And Ray has spent a lot of time down there the last few days. We had one of our premier Type 6 trucks eat a valve, and it would have cost us a lot of money to take it in and have a new engine put in. Instead, we went down and bought the engine and brought it home, and Ray gave it a new home. And
It was a lot of help.
well, still, you were the motive force behind it. And that's the kind of stuff, though. The other thing, and I'll shut up after this one, the other thing I've noticed too, we don't have as many loggers as we used to, but it used to be when spring thaw hit, I could figure roughly a week after spring thaw hit, they'd all start showing up down at the station because their wives were like, don't you have some place to go? they had finally wore out, and that's when we got a lot of things done. So we don't have as many loggers now, but there was kind of that good place for guys to go and be productive. So, does anybody have any questions? Is there anything that you want to know? The boring facts, we have 53 square miles. We have 2,000 feet in elevational change. There's a lot of up and down out there.
I didn't hear you say that anybody can volunteer.
Yeah. And you know, this is, don't ever think that you have to be a guy to volunteer. I've had some ladies doing traffic control, and they're like a lot harder to argue with than a guy. They say stop, you best be stopped. So yeah, anyway.
And she just came down and learned how to drive the red truck, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, how to get it out of the building without
Let's start.
running into the...
Oh, yeah, Gene, all right.
Way to go, Gene!
Yeah.
Getting the trucks out of the building, you start them up and get them out as soon as you can, because we want to close, in the wintertime, we want to close it back up. And the last thing we want to do is close it back up full of exhaust and fumes and everything. So whoever gets there first, there's things that we do, and you know, it's just, and some of us, depending on where the fire is and the nature of the fire, we may go direct. Other people come down to get gear and jump in trucks and go. Also, Lenore is in our district. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but while we couldn't cross the bridge, we had 2 of our trucks in the downriver station, which is that little yellow, it's kind of like a baby poop yellow. It was a commissioner thing. Anyway.
I wasn't involved.
But anyway, so we have 2 trucks down there. And lately, we've had a lot more interest. There's more people showing an interest in being involved down there. While the bridge was closed and we couldn't drive over it, there's 9 departments in this area, and all of us chiefs get together every month and take care of, iron out, plan, like we just had the training up at the school, and so we arranged for 3 days of training and food, and vendors came in and gave stuff away, and the Fire Academy was a really big success. And we all train together so that we all kind of have a rough idea of what people are talking about, what the procedure is, what we're planning to do. Us 9 chiefs put that on every year. And so like when we got shut down on the bridge, Rich Hall, Sunnyside, was willing to backfill off from his side because he didn't have to cross the bridge to get there. So it's really cool. We all mutual aid together. Remember when they had the big fire up at, maybe you guys weren't here then. We had the big fire up at Weeye and the mill caught on fire up there. A lot of the guys there in like Orfino and stuff shot up the hill to go fight it. And some of us went over and backfilled their station for them. So we didn't actually get to go to the barbecue, but we got to see all their cool stuff. And then we came home and wanted more. But anyway, no, it's a really good working group, and I think you guys should be proud of what we have here, and we should continue to nurture it and grow it. And having a place to work from, even though we're not in city limits now, is a really good thing.
Do you want to mention that I think at the post office is a list of things needed for the apartment, in case anybody else
Yeah, I
has
haven't
stuff?
seen the list.
And I've seen it on Facebook too.
Okay, yeah, and that was kind of a brainstorming of things that we could use, and it's amazing all the stuff that showed up, and it's still showing up, and it's not just cups and plates. I mean, I was surprised. My wife went through 3 kids with that big oak crib, and all of a sudden she's like, "It's on the list. This one's going down there." And I'm like, "You would never get rid of that. What's going on?" So it finally, it's got a new home now. And anyway, we're still looking for a set of bunk beds and some things like that.
We got the frame, we're still looking for the beds, so.
Yeah.
We keep getting promised beds, but so far they haven't come through with it.
Yeah, but anyway, it's all of us, and it's this community, and the community extends more than just the city, but the city is truly the hub. I mean, you guys got a lot going here, and since we're a tax-funded operation, there's really no difference between you and somebody on the other side of the city line. We're all in it together. The best thing is, if we get another bad fire, a house fire in town, at least we've got the hydrants to jump on. But we're going to try to minimize what we use. And, in the wintertime, it is so hard to get stuff up and down the hills around here.
Oh, yeah.
And 6,000 gallons of water is very heavy. Anyway, any questions?
I guess, I was at your last meeting there in Lenore, and we have 4 guys that are, and I would be willing to come learn.
Yeah.
So we need to set up a time for training or whatever you guys need to do with that.
What we do
And
is
the one
meet
that it works at night, so.
Yeah, what we do is we meet, right now we're meeting twice a month, the first and third Tuesday at 6 o'clock. And the guys from Lenore are driving the trucks down here for 2 reasons. One is we need to exercise them. There's nothing like discovering something isn't working on a fire, on your way to a barbecue. It's better to find it out on training. And so we're meeting just the first Tuesday of every month, but now we're meeting the second and, or the first and the third. And the third one is really geared quite a bit around training, getting acquainted with the trucks. They're really simple rigs. They really are. I mean, they're automatics. You push and go. And
I can touch on some of this.
yeah,
Since I've been doing a lot of it. So I'm creating checklists, not bottle laminated things. And where you can get into the truck and get the checklist, not papers on them. Your fingerprints on the paper, but how laminated you reach out. So with minimal training, you can start this truck, get it out. The whole idea is get it out of the building so you're not smoking out the building, get the air tanks. But anyhow, so we say 6 o'clock for training. I show up there early, 4 o'clock. You know, sometimes they show up at 5 o'clock because you can't train. There's a lot of people that have joined the club, over 35 people that have joined the fire department. So we want, you know, a good core group of people to understand how the city truck or the Crown works. It looks intimidating, but it's really not that difficult. So talking to Ray earlier today, there's an idea where we can do training, where we can do video stuff and make it look semi-professional with video with the voiceover on the video, and then do training modules. So if you wanted to join the club, then it's like, all right, well, we got these modules that we'd like you to look at and sign you off on. Kind of like the military. I spent time in the military. He's retired military, so that's how I like to structure things. I like checklists. I like the things in a pecking order and lined up straight. You know, I'm a butthole about that. It's like, it's crooked, you gotta line up straight. But anyhow, so yeah, 6 o'clock, we say third Tuesday at 6 o'clock. I'd say 5 o'clock if you want to show up early, 4 o'clock if I'm there. If you see my car there, and you know, I encourage. And I need to probably drop an email out there, but you want to come out on a Saturday, I'm willing to take my time with one-on-one.
Well, I know there was one guy that said his training would have to be on Saturdays.
Yeah, that's fine.
But he's not gonna, you know, something's on fire reasonably.
Is that the guy that was in Lenore?
Well, there's 2 of them right below me, and then the one guy up above, I think he come and talk to you.
Yeah, he did.
Mark?
So yeah, he can
Mark?
come down.
Yeah,
We can
and then
make-
there's 2 more down below, and then he said there's interested, so.
Right, so we can make it work, but the idea is to get everybody trained up, and if it's outside of the first and third Tuesday, then I can make that work, we can make that work. And it would be nice, I think Randy was talking about getting like a training officer, somebody dedicated just for training, because I can't do it all. I mean, I've been doing a lot down there, but we need help, we need people to take on. It's been great that Ray's been ahead and, you know, taking charge of this brush truck that we got and getting more people. You know, I'd like the idea that, hey, I want you to be in charge of this, this is all you make the decisions and have at it.
champion that machine.
Make sure it runs and
exactly.
everything.
All right, enough about that. I'd like to touch on what Randy was talking about, the helipad. I talked to Lifelight again about 3 weeks ago, and they said it's 100% guaranteed we can come in and do training. So last year we did training. So this year they've already scheduled it, and for everybody that's on our department, they're on the email list. It'll be May 7th, which is the first Tuesday of May. They'll show up at 5 o'clock. So they're going to fly their helicopter, provided that they don't have to go fly somewhere. So they're going to designate a helicopter to come in and land on our pad. They'll come in for, I don't know, an hour and do some in-house training. And then the guys that show up, we're going to do some load training and hot load training, which means we'll practice loading the helicopter, 4 people, bringing it up to the helicopter, then they're going to fire the thing up at the point at which they want to leave anyways, because you don't want to two-start this thing. And then we'll practice loading the helicopter while it's running. Hot loading it's called, and then they're going to up the meter. So they've agreed to come out and do that. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and talk to the ambulance, because the pilot was excited about being able to come in and do a rendezvous here at Big Canyon, because there's times they can't get into the hospital or the airport because of fog and whatnot. So they had said, well, can they come in there? Like, yeah, it'd be great. That's what the whole idea is. You come in here and use our facility. And that being said, sign up for Lifelight if you don't have it. It's what, $75 a year, and if you have to be Lifelighted.
For the entire family.
Yeah, for the entire family. So if you have to be Lifelighted out, if you don't have insurance, you don't pay. If you have insurance, they have the right to bill your insurance. That's how that works. But if you don't have no insurance, you're not going to get that $30,000, $40,000 bill. It's cheap. That's cheap insurance. $75.
And what we do is, anybody who's on the fire department who goes to Fire Academy, we buy them and their family flight insurance for another year. That's our thank you back to them for being involved in it. So there's a lot of people out there right now that are covered because they went to Fire Academy this year. We had 22 people in Fire Academy this year.
We had the largest group out of all. I mean, people from all over the whole state and parts of Washington State come to this academy. It's a big deal. It was a really big deal. So we had the largest group.
Nice.
So, yeah, and every year we offer different things. We're working right now, the Chiefs Association is working on getting more training for electric vehicles. Those things are a booger to fight. They get caught in fire, they just go and go and go. It's about time to do another propane class. We actually go through several hundred gallons of propane. We have a special thing that we light off, and then they learn how to move up to it and turn the valves off and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty fun, especially when it's somebody else's propane.
If anybody has a junk vehicle that they want to donate
Oh,
to the
yeah.
fire department, we're trying to get an extrication class.
You could clean my neighbor's yard out.
So
There's a lot of them around here too.
let me touch on this for a
Just go
minute.
grab 'em.
Seriously, thank you for bringing
Yeah.
that up. So, I'm a scrounge. Go ahead.
Yes, we can vouch for that.
Yeah.
I love bringing good stuff home to use. A few weeks ago, we brought home 12 SCBA's, that's the breathing apparatus, plus 24 tanks to go with them. We scrounged them off from another department in another state. And they're still good, they're certified and everything else, but they got the grant for the brand new big ones, so we got their old ones. Same thing happened up at Moscow. Brian, the chief up there, got new extrication equipment, and so I don't know if it was to shut me up or if I wore him down, but anyway, we got their old gear and we have it now. And the old stuff is Honda motors and hydraulic, the new stuff is all battery operated. And, but anyway, we got it. So what he was touching on, they're gonna come and do an extrication class teaching us how to cut cars open and get people out and all that fun stuff with our gear. We get to learn on our own gear. So, but the only thing is, they said, we have to supply the vehicles. The instructors actually are working on an Idaho grant. They get paid to travel, to stay, to eat, to train, the whole works. The state pays for all of that. The only thing they don't pay for is the vehicles, the target of what we're trying to do. So anyway, so yeah, if somebody has a vehicle they want chopped up and they're on the way to buy as it leaves in little pieces, that's the deal we have for you. But anyway, I'll shut up and call it yes.
And if it's cut up into many pieces, you said it doesn't need a title?
There is I'm told, I have to check this out, but at some point, the pieces become small enough that a title is not required.
You talking to salvage it?
If it's cut in half.
If you cut it in half, there's a guy in town that'll get a car, he'll cut the thing in half with saws, I'll take it to set and they'll take it without a title.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you can go to your neighbor's place and just...
Yeah.
But you could entertain the thought. But anyway, yeah, so there's a lot of good stuff going on. I'm really tickled pink that the town here is kind of the center of what we're doing and the people that we're doing it with, and there's really no difference between the town folk and the country folk here.
Absolutely.
And I really appreciate that. That's pretty cool. Anyway, go sit down.
Thanks, Randy. Alrighty, does anybody have any questions? Any comments, anything to offer? Yes.
I just wanted to introduce myself. So I'm Michelle with TD&H Engineering, and we're currently working on a bridge with the county and local Highway Technical Assistance Council, LTAC. And so I had attended a Clearwater County Economic Development Council meeting a couple of weeks ago, and the gal at Clearwater County had mentioned that Peck might need some assistance. I'm not an engineer, but I am the grant person. And so I thought I would come by and just introduce myself. And I've been really enjoying listening to all of you talk. It's just a joy to see so many people at a council meeting. And I mean, I was at Cul-de-sac Monday night and I was at Elk River this morning. And no, I mean, it's all good because my license is I'm a professional community and economic developer, and that's just a fancy way to say that I try and help rural communities because that's my passion, and that's our passion, TD&H Engineering's passion. And so hearing about, fire station goings on helps me to put other people in tune with the communities that we're working with, in tune. Because, Cul-de-sac and Elk River went to fire training in Orofino because I had heard it was coming. So I contacted, the folks that I knew. Anyway, it just,
Awesome.
it's just really fun to see you all and meet you, and so just want to say hello.
Awesome, thank you. Do you have a card?
I do, and if we can help with finding funding in any way, well, that's
Absolutely.
that's what I'd love to do. I'm told that I'm a little bit odd because I like to actually do the paperwork.
Oh,
So, yeah, anyway. There you go.
thank you.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Just Rob want one?
Alrighty, thank you very much. Anybody else have anything they wanna? Alrighty. Okay, well, with that, we will close our meeting. I will remind everybody that our next meeting is Wednesday, May 8th at 6 o'clock, right here. We didn't miss anything, did we?
I don't think so. No, I didn't see anything.
I looked twice, but,
Yeah.
okay. So at,
Peck Days. Wasn't
what was it?
the gentleman down here gonna do Peck Days? Wasn't he talking about it? I don't know what his name is.
No, I don't know.
No, they didn't show up.
Oh, yeah, no, they didn't show up.
All right.
Alrighty. At 7:27, we'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you guys for coming. I put this on